Hello Aquarius, thank you for joining me here. This is gonna be your free flowing intuitive reading, my friends. So please take it as it resonates. Aquarius, without any further delay, let's get into this reading. So before I got into going, before I get into any other cards, I wanna focus on these two cards. We got this Oak Man and the Spirit Dancer. What I'm getting from it, Aquarius, that right now it feels like that you are, sometimes you feel like that there is a two things, like two prominent things going on inside you. Like it feels like there is a storm. I'm really feeling there is a storm going on inside you, and there is it's almost like your ruling planet, like you are ruled by Uranus and Saturn. It's like this Saturn is very, very disciplined, like very like regimented kind of energy, and Uranus, like, you know what, you cannot control me, I'm gonna break free of it, like that kind of polar. You are the only sign which is kind of combination of two extreme. And that's, like, so I'm really feeling like the similar kind of feeling you may be feeling inside. It feels like that there is this tendency, there is like, okay, hold on, there is like with the Spirit Dancer, I'm feeling like that you feel that you just wanna submit. You just wanna, like, okay, take care, universe, you take care. I am not gonna fight with you. I am not gonna impose my desire on myself and work my ass off to get it. I am gonna be more of a, I submit to you. Spirit Dancer is all about, like, I submit to you. It's like in 36-9 energy is all about Piscean energy. It's like I am gonna be, like, it's like dissolution of self, in a way, almost like a dissolve of self, in a way that you can be self without of self. It's not that you are getting lost, it's like expanding of self in certain way that you feel like you exist everywhere. You exist in every person that you connect with, every people, every circumstances, situation that's happening to you feels like an extension of your life. It doesn't feel like an opponent or kind of combating energy, like, oh, I need to prove that this is my reality and this is yours, and mine need to be rule over yours, something like that. It's like a more of dissolution kind of energy. I feel like you might have reached to a point where you feel like, I'm just gonna submit. I'm just gonna see, like, let's see how far it's gonna take me. Instead of constantly planning and controlling my destiny, maybe I just need to submit. So there is this strong inclination towards that. But at the same time, with the Oak Man, I'm getting this like 47, which is like 12. It's like broken down to 3, which is all about, 3 is the first, like, combined number, like 1 or 2, like 2 and 1 became, like, like, it's like male and female, like feminine energy and male, masculine energy produce this 3. So 3 is very agile. 3 is very almost like a Aries kind of energy to me. Aries magician kind of energy. It's like I got it. Like like there is this Oakman is very stern. It's like almost this Saturnic energy within you. It's kind of saying no. Don't lose control. Don't let yourself go. Don't, like, there is a lot of don't that you are hearing at the same time within yourself. Like, don't do that. Don't do this. If you do that, you are gonna lose yourself. How you gonna find yourself? What you gonna do if you lose yourself? How you gonna, like, all this kind of pros and cons and and it's like a whole debate is going on within you. That's why I'm feeling like there is a lot of, it feels very chaotic. It feels very tumultuous. It feels very, very intense, potent, very potent, but intense, that kind of energy I'm getting with this two card that happening. And it's almost, it feels like that this is something that is almost happening in your deeper level. Maybe you have, I don't know, like it's almost like it's happening at your moon level, at your emotional level, not on at your like how you are appearing, how you are functioning day to day, how you are communicating to others. It's not happening at your sun level or at your rising level. It's happening at the core, at the moon level, at the emotional level. You feel this dichotomy, you feel this kind of pull and push, you feel this polarity between Saturnic and Uranus energy, like you are feeling it very, very strongly. And we got these two card, they are like like standing around this Oakman and Spirit Dancer. That we got Gotcha and the Epona's Wild Daughter. I feel like you might not have, this may almost feel like that you are going through some kind of massive change in terms of how you see yourself, change in terms of how you thought you are. There is like a shake up and break up is happening here in terms of it's I don't think it could be related to some external situation, like you literally going through some kind of breakup with some person. But the thing is, even that literal events is what is impacting, it's impacting your emotion in such a way. It feels like that you are also changing, very scorpionic, transformative, transformative, oh my god, I cannot pronounce, transforming kind of energy. You feel like you almost like you are like a stunted, you are stunted by this emotional dichotomy that you are feeling. You are stunted because Aquarius energy is like you don't like to be confused. You like to be challenged, but you don't like to be confused. But this feels like that because of this too strong pull of Saturnic and Uranus energy here, like between the Oakman and the Spirit Dancer, you feel like that you cannot really take a stand. You don't know whether you support Oakman like whatever the Saturnic energy is bringing to you, or whether you want to completely submit to this, like, okay, I'm gonna submit. So there is a confusion here because you cannot make a decision, and you feel like it's kind of stunted. You feel like, okay, you are like almost like watching your own storm in going on inside. You are like a spectator outside of yourself, and it's like a very actually Aquarian energy. It's like a very objective. You can detach yourself from yourself, so you are kind of almost feel like you are looking at yourself as if you are a spectator, and yourself is a subject who is going through some struggle, who is going through some crisis, and you are kind of out of that crisis and looking at yourself like this Gotcha, and you are like surprised by it. You are like, I never experienced that. What is happening? But you are like objectively, very silently surprised, definitely, maybe shocked to a point. But it's kind of hard to shock you. But you are watching it, and you are feeling like it's like as you are, there is something happening in you, Aquarius. There is something happening in you. I can feel it. There is a massive changes that is already coming to you, both energetically and externally, physically, materially. And I feel like energetically you are already feeling it as you are looking this crisis and look at this tumultuous storm that is going on. You feel like you are almost becoming somebody who is more adequate to understand these changes, who is more in tune with this transformative change, who is more in tune with maybe this kundalini energy. So there is some kind of energy upliftment that is happening within you, with this Epona's Wild Daughter. I'm feeling like this Epona's Wild Daughter, it has some sense of actually optimism to it. It's not scared. Like, look at this card. Like, does this energy feels like scared? This energy feels excited. This energy feels like they're waiting on their knee. It's like almost like at the racing, they're just ready to whistle to blow up. It's like there is some sense of adventure there. There is a sense of waitingness, like I'm waiting for it. It's like there is no nervousness. So I feel like as you looking at this with this gotcha, like almost like objectively to yourself, like what is going on? I'm surprised. I did not realize that I can feel like this. I never feel like this. Like that kind of experience, that kind of feelings can come to you. You feel like, I never feel like this. I never went through this kind of this. Whatever I'm feeling, I cannot name it, I cannot define it, but whatever I'm feeling, it's very unfamiliar, but it is very important and potent and impactful, because I am becoming this energy that is waiting to jump into this new energy, waiting to jump into embrace this energy and kind of go with it. That's why this with the spirit dancer is like, okay, whatever happens happens. Okay, I never live like that, but I'm gonna take a chance. Very like Aries energy. I'm gonna take a leadership, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm not gonna step back. So there is that kind of very fiery determination and kind of zeal there with this Epona's wild daughter. As I'm just looking at it, 54 broken down to 9, and this is also 36 broken down to 9. Again, this Piscean energy. Piscean energy of like, I am self, but I don't, in order to be self, in order to be myself, I don't have to always like rule myself. Okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and if I do anything outside what I think I do not like, that means I'm not being myself. You are kind of expanding the definition and the boundaries of what you told yourself that what you are. So there is like it's not that when you are not doing something that you are used to, that means you are lost or you are losing yourself. You are kind of feeling that even when you don't do usual stuff or don't do what you think you are supposed to do, that doesn't mean that you are derailed. You can be you even when you are derailed. This understanding of self outside of oneself, this is something very philosophical. I know maybe some of you even saying what this person is talking about. Is it just an air of words? No, like when you feel this extension of self outside of your ego self, that's where the Piscean energy take place. And Piscean energy, this 9 energy, is like a dissolution of ego, dissolution of self, and finding a self that is bigger than this self that you primarily known. So there is that's why it feels like a transformation, because you are changing certain aspect of looking at yourself. Okay, so let's get to other cards here. Okay, I'm gonna come to these 2 cards a little later. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about these 3 cards. So we got the poet, we got the gloomy doom, and we got the connection, singer of connection. So what I'm feeling here, this could very, very well be something that you have put your emotion into, something that you desired, something that you valued, something. It could be a relationship, it could be a love, it could be something that you really desire, like your Venusian energy, like whatever your Venus feels like drawing in, things that you desire, things that you value, things that you like. Like that kind of, because there is a sense of romantic feelings to it. Like it doesn't have to be necessarily literally romantic, but romantic feelings. You can feel romantically towards a painting, you can feel romantically towards a flower, you can feel romantically towards anything. That kind of feelings of this sense of love and belonging, sense of appreciation, sense of, like admiration, that can come from not just from another person. Of course, anything that you value, again the Venusian energy is strong here. And I feel like there is a, you have been disappointed in that matter with this gloomy doom. Something, somebody that you truly desired, truly valued, truly romantically wanted to pursue, it felt like that there is a sense of deep disappointment there. And I'm also getting that you are aware of the disappointment. Your sixth sense, your intuitive, Aquarius is very intuitive sign. People don't usually acknowledge that because you're air. So but Aquarian air is very different than Gemini and Libran air. It's very different. Aquarian is the only air that holds water, so Aquarian is very intuitive, but their intuitive is not like scorpionic intuitiveness. It's like not coming from the gut, but it almost feel like your mind kind of knows. It's a very cerebral intuitiveness. Anyway, so I feel like in your intuitive mind, that this is a disappointment. This is a disappointment for whatever you valued, whatever it is for you, this poet, that thing that you desired, value, and romanticized, and think about, feel about, write about, dream about. And there is a deep desire, deep disappointment there. And the disappointment is like, for whatever reason, the disappointment is there, and you feel like it's like, and this disappointment is not like light-hearted disappointment. Oh, tomorrow it's gonna be better. Oh, tomorrow it's gonna be all okay tomorrow. So it's more than disappointment. There is a bleakness attached to this energy. I'm feeling like something let you down. It could be another person, it could be a situation, it could be you yourself. You valued your own norms, you valued your own sense of judgment, but you realize that your sense of judgment actually let you down. So it could be anything, whatever you valued, it's let you down. And that disappointment is so deeply rooted that maybe you are not even talking to anybody, because it's not that you are suffering in silence. You are suffering in silence, but your suffering is not like, almost like I said, it is objective to you. You just, how to explain all this? It's like your brain can make sense of it, so you are not really it's not this suffering is like you are crying all day, crawling on the floor. It's not like that, because your brain understands what's going on, but you're suffering. So it's like you are looking at yourself, you're looking at your emotion sitting at your cerebral point of understanding. So there is that distance between you and you. I hope it makes sense, because I really want to touch upon the real, like, what actually going on. Sometimes it can be a little, because we are quite complex being, humans, and like there's so much nuance. So when we tap into all this nuance, sometimes it feels not put together, not easily you can put your finger on. So sometimes all this information can feel a little too much to fathom, or too much to put it together, or put the points together, or something like that. So nonetheless, the disappointment is very, very deep here. And because it is so deep, because it caused a sense of bleakness in you, that you feel that you cannot communicate with others, because you cannot just go to your best friend and talk about it, because they may feel, because when you're gonna talk to them, you're gonna talk from your, because I'm putting a lot of astrology in this video, in this reading. I don't know why, but I hope you understand this connection, because when we talk through Mercury. Mercury is a masculine sign which is ruled by Gemini and Virgo. Mercury comes from, it's a very cerebral way of communicating. Our communication is very cerebral. We think and we communicate. Like, even if you don't think that, oh, I don't think, I just say, you are thinking, because it's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is always thinking. Even if you're not conscious about your own thought, every word that comes out of it, it's some kind of process by your thought, whether inner thought or very thought that already surfaced, so that you are aware of those thoughts. So, but it's coming from the thoughts nonetheless. So when you, let's say you go to your best friend and you really want to talk about what's going on with you, but the moment you're going to talk to them, it's going to feel very put together, because your brain understand this, you cerebrally understanding what's going on with you. So you are gonna say, hey Jenny, you know what, I'm going through this. I know that, like when you say all these things, Jenny gonna say, oh, you already got it. Why you why you don't need my help? You already figured it out, because your mind already figured it out. So they cannot really tap into what's going on inside, like this is your emotional reality, like spirit dance and the workman, this duality, this push and pull, like you will like which way you are unable to make decision, this chaos, this storm, and like full of emotion, confusion, and this polarity. You cannot, but when you communicate from the stand of, because you are communicate from Mercury, so you are communicating like you already figured it out. Yes, you did, but your emotion, you cannot communicate your emotion. On top of that, you are Aquarius, you are not really very good with communicating emotion. You have a lot of emotion, but you are not very good with communicating emotion until unless you have strong water placement or water house placement. But anyway, the thing is, like you felt disappointed. This disappointment is real, this disappointment is deep, this disappointment is something that is very serious, and that happened something to related to something that you valued, something that that you desired, dreamed about, and something that you hold value to. And so then we have this connection. And even if your brain understood that it was a disappointment, you are going through some set of heartbreak, you are going through some set of pain, but you are, because you understood in your brain, you try to reinforce this connection, reinforce this value with all the positivity, with all side. Okay, no, it's gonna happen. Oh no, it's gonna, I know, if I like let's say your value is I don't know, let's say you really like I don't know how to maybe it's gonna be a lame example. Let's say you really like weaving. Okay, you that you valued, you always feel like weaving is something that you do, that you like to do. It will give you an immense amount of pleasure, it will bring some kind of a calmness into your life, and then you started doing it. You have been desiring to do weaving. You went to maybe college. I'm giving you random example. Okay, so take replace weaving in whatever you truly desire. It could be a personal love, whatever, job, career, anything. So let's say you always dreamed about weaving. So then you go to college, you spend all this money, you learned weaving, and even when you are college, you feel like something is not clicking, and then you feel like no, this is might be just stress. I'm new to weaving, so I need to be more familiar with it. So you kind of push it through. College is over, you are out in the real world, so called, whatever the real world means. I mean, you know what real world means, but everything is real to me, so I don't differ that distinction. I don't have this distinction, but anyway, people do. So you go out in the practical world, let's say practical world, yeah, you go out in this practical material world, and then you started a job and you feel like, okay, this is my dream job, I always dreamed of weaving, I value this weaving, my family has done this, and now you do this, now you get into this job, and you spend your 8-10 hours every day doing that, and then you still feel that something is not clicking. You are not it's like almost like you are creating this singer of connection, like six, like heart chakra. You are putting like, oh, this is my dream, this is my everything. You are kind of almost like, because you valued it, because you dreamed about it, because you romanticize it, because it's source of pleasure, it brought, you thought that this is a source of pleasure, you kept on feeding into that, irrespective of how you felt. You felt like this connection is not really clicking, but you kept going on. Like, it may be a connection because you thought this is your soulmate, so you almost all the time you kind of reinforce or reassure, or not, more than not reassure, reinforce this thought that this is my soulmate. Does it feel like this is your soulmate? You know, you overlook that because you wanted that value, your value, something that you valued so much for so long. You wanted that to be real and true and like present. You don't want to step down from that just because some kind of hardship is coming. You knew that hardship gonna be there, but my loyalty to my values is solid. But the here is not about your loyalty towards value. This message I'm getting that maybe, yeah, maybe it was not your value. Maybe it is not your soulmate. Maybe this is not your dream job. Maybe, let's say you always wanted to be poet and you are writing and writing, but your writing is not really clicking to you. Forget about others. But you kept writing because that's all you can think of you being. Maybe you are actually in soul, you are actually more of a singer rather than writer. It's like that, and it's very hard for you to accept that change of that thing. So now we are getting into this parrot and the Glockner. What I'm getting here, it's this inner turmoil that you are feeling, Aquarius, is actually bringing a major relief to you, and you are going to be thankful to yourself later on for this, because what it's bringing out true honesty. Like, it's showing you what you truly value, what you truly value, what let's say you are watching like tarot after tarot, reading astrology, going to therapy because you thought this is your soulmate. How come this is not? How come it's possible that they are not? Like, I'm just giving you a random example. It doesn't have to be soulmate. It could be anything, right? But through this process of not accepting, at the same time reinforce this truth on yourself, you are actually coming to an uttermost honesty to yourself. You are coming to an understanding that it's bringing this Glockner energy, that there's a truth coming out of, and don't take me wrong, I feel like this truth is more about telling that I feel like many of you is really having hard time to really accept that you might just misunderstood of yourself. You might not know yourself that well to really know where your true value lies, what you truly desire. And it's been very hard for you to accept that. And this is bringing that part in you. It's saying that with the Glockner, is saying that whatever you thought is yours, it kind of originated from a sense of some attributes which are not really soul based, which were not really based on your true ego, which was based on more of a what you wanted your ego to be in order to compete in society. Like you might have told yourself you need to be like A plus student in order to be whosoever you want it to be. So it's not necessary that you really are A plus student, or this is something that you truly valued, getting the highest grade, but you might have told yourself that that's what you value, getting being first in the class, or being like that. You kind of, it's kind of almost like a self make believe kind of value that you are imposing on yourself, and you are completely oblivious of that imposing factor. Maybe right now you are going through kind of Saturn return or whatever is happening, because there is a lot of activities happening like galactically, like like in the galaxy and cosmologically. Something is bringing out that whatever you have projected on yourself, it's not nobody it's all you here. And you are kind of really that honesty, like your is that's why it's coming like a dissolution of ego in order to expand your real ego. Ego is not a bad thing at all. Ego is so good. Ego is self. How come self can be bad? Because all we have is self. We are just born with us ourselves. That's all we have. We have nothing else other than ourselves. So self cannot be bad at all. Self is all we have. But when the self is structured on the based on projection and imposition, then it becomes some kind of ego that is need to be dissolute. And that happens with the Piscean energy, with the number 9 energy. And it's like you are realizing that you are realizing that whatever you thought your value is, what was kind of your make believe of yourself for whatever reason, and whatever you needed to do at the time. So there is, and because it's like almost like an eye-opening reflection on yourself. And it's not easy to accept. It's not easy that an Aquarian, Aquarius, I'm Aquarius rising, so trust me, I understand. Aquarian energy take a lot of pride in their intellect. We take a lot of pride in our intellect and in our ability to see things before anyone could see that. We consider ourselves the visionaries of the zodiac. So how come a visionary who has such a strong foresight can be wrong with themselves to understand when the ego is fake and when the ego is real? So it's actually hitting your pride a little, knocking your pride down. So it has been a rough, difficult time for you to truly accept that. So that's why you kind of lingered on this connection, because you did not, it felt like it was more safe to wait for a connection and fight for this value rather than accept that you might have made a mistake for last 20 years. And that's a hard mistake to accept, so it's like that kind of things is happening here. But nonetheless, there is a change is inevitable. And you have been, you are not speaking to others, because how can you speak? Like, look at this. Even as a reader tapping into your energy, I'm really like thinking before I saying, because it's so complex. This message is so complex. If you're connecting with this is very intense, complex message here. So when this message is so complex, when this understanding and nuance is so intricate that you cannot even fathom yourself fully, how can you communicate this to others? So when you communicate, let's say if your best friend Jenny, mythical character here, it coming to say what is going on, Aquarian. So you won't be able to say all this, that my ego and this and that. You can, they will be saying okay, all right, oh my god, are you writing a book? You should write a book, I think. Yeah, they would really say that. They will say, you should write a book. This is a rich content, Aquarius, go and write a book. Because they won't be able to like grasp all these things. So you cannot really say all these things to people because it's so deep and it's so intricate that it get lost in conversation. So you are not sharing with anybody, but this tarot, the term parrot, is like all about you are realizing. It's like you are talking to yourself. You are your own speaker and you are your own audience, and it's bringing a lot of understanding of yourself. This is a period of time, this, if you are connecting with this message, that you are shaking and moving your sense of self. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. All right, Aquarius, I hope you get something out of it, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care. Bye bye.